What is up, y'all? So, huh. So I haven't did one of these in a while. Where the pen top just go? I am rolling up and reflecting. But something that really just was going through my mind is how weird people treat me. Like, I understand I'm a weird person. I am a very strange individual. I've learned to accept that because how strange I may come across, I could be stranger. Because my level of self control is interesting to me. Because the things that come through my head that I don't do, but I would like to do, I never do. Like, for real. But hey, that's besides the point. But I realized that I'm such a genuine person. Like, I love people from a pure place in my heart. Like, I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna be all in your face and just like wanting to know everything about you, wanting to be around you all the time, wanting to do this, wanting to do that. No, I'm not that type of person. Never been that type of person. Never been the type of person that you can just sit and talk to, like, in a sense to where you talking about a whole bunch of stuff all day. Unless we like in a deep thought conversation, I'm not the type of person that cares about a lot of stuff. To know a lot of stuff about you. What I really care about is what's on your mind. What how can we have a conversation that we both lifting, like elevating from? Like, I like to have conversations on lessons that you learning in the present moment. Things that you realize in the world that you may think you the only one that pay attention to that. I like to talk about those things. If we ain't talking about that, then I ain't the type of person where I'm a feed into conversation. Like, I may say some slick stuff here and there. I'm a dad's child, but most days I'm gonna be silent. And a part of that silence is understanding that people don't understand that silence. Like, people don't understand people who choose to be quiet. Like, I just saw a post on somebody's story, and it said about black women introverts who choose to be silent. It's like, I that's a literal choice of mine, because it's like I learned a while back that not everything needs to be said all the time. Like, people don't need to hear everything that goes on in your head at every moment of every day, because a lot of times you don't even want to hear that stuff. So why do you have to commute? Why do we have to leave your mind all the time? Like, it's called having self-control, realizing that not every moment requires a reaction or response. Some things just require silence. Sometimes you just gotta listen. And I'm a firm knower in that. Like, like me, I like listening to people because I like being listened to. I like when people like take heed to what I'm saying, because that's how I know that the Most High is working through me. It's healing people, because it's like I had to learn that. Like, I started making this YouTube a priority because I realized how much the Most High speak through me. Like, I don't be asking for things to say. God do it. And it's like, maybe someone needs to hear that message. Maybe I need to hear what comes out of my mouth sometimes. Like, maybe that's what we need in this exact moment. And I take heed to that. Just as I am when I'm talking to other people. A lot of times I'm not listening, but most of the times I am listening. And when I am listening and when I'm engaged into it, just know I'm gonna uplift you. Yeah, it may hurt. Yeah, it may sting, but that's the type of person I am. I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna say what you want to hear. I'm gonna be that person that you need in your life. Like, I take pride in that, in being genuine in all efforts and how I connect to people. Like, I like when people are genuine with me. So it's like, if I'm not genuine, then it's a problem. And that's not the seed I want to plant in the world. That's not the type of relationship I want to have with people, that ingenuine connections. Like, I wasted so much time in life dealing with those type of situations. So yeah, my love language is different. I didn't grow up when people expressed their love language verbally, or they knowingly expressed their love language. They just did things that showed that they loved you. Like, how I know my grandma loved me, she prayed for me. Like, and I would hear me in her prayers. That's how I know she loved me. Like, and I do that same thing with a lot of people. Like, no, I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna hug you and be in, like I said, I'm not gonna be in your face telling you all these things on how I feel about you. No, I'm gonna pray for you. Like, I pray for you when you don't even know you being prayed for. Like, even if you did me wrong, I pray for you. Like, I'm not the type of person where I hold grudges or do things out of spite. Yeah. I'm a motherfucker. Like, I do things. I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect at all. I ain't gonna say I do it out of spite. But if they got me, I got to get them. Simple. The Medea way. Like, I'm a firm believer in revenge. Not in the sense to where I see you walking, I'm gonna trip you. I ain't talking about that type of revenge. I ain't talking about I'm gonna stab you in your back. But you gonna feel my absence. You wouldn't pay attention to my presence in your life, so you gonna feel my absence. That's my revenge. My revenge comes without me putting an effort into making you feel something. My revenge comes in me quite literally detaching. Like, I'm a type of person where I attach. When I'm locked in to a purpose and committed to something, I commit to it. Like, I give my all to it. Everything in me, it lives, sleeps, and breathes it. So it's like, I have to guard that. I have to guard my focus. I have to guard my heart, because my heart is rare. It took me a while. It took me until quite recently to understand how rare I am as a person. Like, I always just thought, like, oh, I'm this way. People have this inside of them. They just haven't tapped into it. Yes, people have it inside them. They just haven't tapped into it. So don't expect them to be that, because, like you said, they have not tapped into it. Because a lot of times we tell ourselves these phrases, but it be the actual realizations of what you are saying that you have to apply it. You have to understand, everybody can't walk the same path as you. They are not on the same path as you. They are on a different route. They may not see it how you see it. They don't have the same life experiences to understand it how you do. So it's like, the way I show love to people, they never really received it well, because that's not their love language. And me personally, it's something that I had to hold myself accountable to, is I never really took the time to understand people's love language. Like, I just showed up as me, and I was me. I didn't adapt to anybody at all. Actually, it was one of those things where it's like, I was imbalanced, and a lot of the bonds that I made with people before, I was imbalanced. It'll be sometimes where I can adapt. Like I'll shift my energy to fit the moment. And it'll be other times where I just don't. And the times when I just don't is the times I've made the most impact, which is why now I just don't. I don't shift. I found comfort in who I am and how I show up. And that's just how I show up. You get what you give at the end of the day. But then I noticed, like, it's a thing. It's a learning lesson that I've been going through. Not gonna lie. Like, I guess that's why it's like not super clear as day. But hey, it's life. It's a part of rolling up and reflecting. It's paying attention to those things, acknowledging it all for what it is. And that's the whole thing about me. What I'm doing right now is acknowledging it all for what it is. Like, I ain't perfect. I ain't trying to be. I don't care to be. I'm far from it. But it's me at the end of the day. And I've learned that if people don't like who you are, how you show up, what you got to offer, then that's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, at all. And my problem is I don't speak up when I need to. I don't speak up all the time. And that's where my hand coat in my own suffering. I just allow people to do what they do, and then I say something after the fact. But then after the fact, you ain't say nothing before, so I thought it was okay. But it's like, you knew it wasn't okay when you did it. You just felt like it was okay because I didn't say something. And I understand why you thought it was okay. But now that I'm saying something, acknowledge that for what it is. Acknowledge the fact that it's not okay no more. Yeah, I accepted it before. But now since I'm saying something, it's because it became a problem. Before it wasn't a problem because I didn't understand how it was a problem. But now that I understand the problem, it's a problem. And if I can't accept it, then I am entitled to feel how I feel. Until I can grow from it, or until it grows, then I just have to disconnect myself, and that's okay. Like, and that's something I had to learn, because I got blamed for so much stuff, and it's so wild to me because it's like sometimes I don't even be doing shit. I don't be doing shit. I think I talk too much. I could say I talk too much. I can agree with that narrative. Some days I talk too much. Some days I talk too less. It's like I said, I be imbalanced, and that be my problem, the lack of balance in certain situations. Part of growing older is admitting to your flaws. Admitting to your flaws. We all have flaws. We all have alls. We all have things in our drawers. Bars. We all have flaws. We all have alls. We all have things in our drawers. That's my new phrase. Man, because that's what I'm titling this. We all have flaws. We all have alls. We all have things in our drawers. I wonder how many views I get just from the title. Bro. This child here. Wild. That's what I said. I got a weird mind. So weird. But I love it. Because it's like, you have to, like, I learned to find humor in the things that come across my mind. Like, genuinely make peace with the fact that it's there. Like, thoughts and ideas are for our thoughts and ideas have a purpose too. Not just us as humans. We, like, yes, we have a purpose, but the ideas and thoughts that come across our head, sometimes it has a purpose. Sometimes it's meant to have you alert to the situation. Sometimes it's meant to just comfort you and make you think about something differently. Like, it's all about balance. It's all about the duality of everything. Just like you give, you receive. It's actually a quite simple concept of life. I didn't realize how much I needed to roll up and reflect. And I would say this was just a real productive venting session. I rolled up 5 joints already. Effortlessly too. Shout out to me. Lately, life been nudging me to just roll with the punches. Like, all the things that I think, all the things, all things, it just is simple. It's just that simple. It all just is. Nothing much to it. Just look at it for what it is and figure out how it all correlates eventually. Because a lot of times, like, we go through these things and we don't understand how it play a role in the moment. But as time go past, you begin to realize, like, oh, okay, I get it. It's that. For instance, I'm watching this show called The 100, right? I think I watched it as it was airing back in high school, maybe. I don't know. I think it was back when I had my Netflix account. When I first got my Netflix account. But and I didn't really understand. I understood most of it, but I didn't understand the thick of it, of like what was going on in the story. So I've been rewatching it, and it's so enlightening to see it from a higher perspective and paying attention to the little nuances and things that happen in their journey, and like how they learn these different life lessons. Like, for instance, they was dropped from space back onto Earth, and they had to learn to live off the land, right? They went through so much. Like, I'm on season 6 now. They had been through so much, and mind you, they was just kids when it started. Like, most of them was probably, like, they was all under 20. And now they're commanders, they're adults, they're parents, they're quite literally grown. And they're going through the same things again, but the way that they handle the situation is completely different. Their principles changed. Because, like, at first, they used to guilt each other for making those hard decisions. Like, in my opinion, killing people is never the answer, right? When I first started watching this show, I had this idea on death, that if you kill somebody, you wrong. I don't care if it's self-defense or not. Well, self-defense is argumentative, but I just didn't care. It was wrong. But like, listen, like, okay, so what if you're killing people that are killing people? You are killing the root of other people's suffering. Because, like, for instance, it was this one group where they was basically stealing people's bloods. So they would go catch people and they would steal their blood. Like, they would quite literally hang them up, like put them in a cage whenever they need them. Mind you, they was doing this for centuries. They would string these people up and kill them just to take their blood, just so that they could survive, because they couldn't survive or whatever. And then they found a cure or whatever, and they was willing to kill everybody just to succeed, right? And the girl, she hit a level and she killed all of them in one swoop. And everybody was shaming her for what she did. But the people who turned on their own, who was getting the blood, she said none of us were innocent. Because she knew, like, what they were doing was wrong. So in their deaths was inevitable. Like, the people that they was killing in order to survive didn't ask for that. They were like, it was one of those instances where it's like, God don't like ugly. And it was that. I don't know. It's one of those situations where you got to see it to understand what I'm saying. But it's like, they had to go through those life lessons in order to understand how to operate, because now those same people are dealing with people that are stealing people's bodies. So basically they manipulated a whole civilization of people to think that they are gods, just so that they can have eternal life. What they do is they put mind drives into people's heads, and they tell the people that they are one with the primes, but in reality, the primes kill the host, and they just keep their body and they grow old. So they get an eternal life while the people are growing old and dying, but they worshiping them. The people that's worshiping them, they don't know no better. They think that they are gods because that's all they know. But in reality, they've been lied to. They've been bamboozled. And it's like that. And it is like that with a lot of people. But then in this thing, they going through this situation where they don't want to kill these people. Because mind you, before they got there, it was peaceful. But was it really peaceful if they were being lied to? If these people were being manipulated to bend a person's will? So it's like, in a sense, they got these kids righting the wrongs of people who take away other people's free will. I'm gonna rewatch this show, right? And I'm gonna give like a real in-depth analysis of this show, because this is my